Thrifters Anonymous, we're back live. Thrifters Anonymous, we got WCOB and we're here. Thrifters Anonymous, we're so excited to be here. Thrifters Anonymous, thank you for tuning in.
We're so happy to be here. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh my gosh, we're back again. Thank you, everybody.
Back, folks.
Please be seated. Every time, standing ovation, right?
Standing ovation.
Why, guys, this right here, this person is
Shana, and this person is
Edwina.
And we are the Shana and Edwina show.
Oh,
we're also
Thrifters Anonymous. Very prepared, by the way.
Always.
As if you don't already know who we are, Shana and Edwina, look, we're professional thrifters. We go all around Vegas, and we shop till we drop, and we take you along for the ride. Two girlfriends shopping, acting up.
Yeah, so follow us along on YouTube and subscribe.
And don't forget about Instagram, Twitter. Either look up TA Approved or Thrifters Anonymous. Find us. Hopefully you'll love us and come back for more. But today we have two special guests.
We are very excited. So not only do we like to shop, but we like to get to know the places we shop at.
Like, for real. Because if you don't know the owner, you don't know nobody who worked there, you know no one.
So we're going to cut to a quick little video, and you guys can get to know about our next guest. And then you'll get to see a little bit about what me and Edwina do at one of our favorite places to thrift.
Oh my gosh.
Deseret Industries is a non-profit vocational training facility and thrift store. Donations from the community provide the income for Deseret Industries to operate. Donated items provide the income that fund their services and programs. Good quality items are sorted and sold locally at bargain prices. Each store is professionally organized, maintained, and managed. Members of the community who have employment challenges are hired as associates. Working at the store provides associates with an income while developing job skills. Help is tailored to the individual needs and goals of each associate. Job coaches help them set and make individualized career goals. They also help find training classes, certifications, and job opportunities. Often, Deseret Industries will pay for their educational expenses while they work. Deseret Industries. New life for goods. New life for people.
Lingerie inspired, like tangerine.
Ooh, that's cute. That's an outfit.
Right? And
That's
then I just had to grab this.
Oh my God, look at the back. Did you see the back collar? It's everything.
So, but if anything...
That's a cute blazer with jeans.
Yes.
Keep this one in the cart. That's ready to go.
What
Yeah,
is
this
it
is so
called?
cute, but it's
Not
too
the
ho.
Oh my God, that was the pleats.
I know, with military.
Yes.
Oh God. Here.
Wait, Edwina, look it.
Ooh,
So
that's cute.
What do they call it? Monochromatic? Tell me how chic that is with the slits.
That looks like cool.
Plus, there's going to be plenty of fun and raffles, food, and giveaways.
And welcome back to the Morning Blend. Here we go. This spring, follow the 3 Ds. That's downsize, declutter, and donate. Deseret Industries is looking for your unwanted items to give them some new, well, life. And we have some examples this morning. We're going to start with Shana Emily Dahan, a life and fashion blogger, and also a YouTuber.
Yes, Thrifters Anonymous.
Thrifters, okay. How did you get involved in doing this and wanting people to really explore with what's out there in terms of clothing?
You know, we get so inspired, and we go and we sit down and we rip out magazines and we pin different styles and
Put
clothing.
them on the vision board.
Get inspired by all the colors from the runway, and then we just go to the thrift store, and we're there for 4 or 5 hours. We went to Deseret Industries, and we were there for pretty much all day.
Okay, but for some people out there, that's not so easy because they think they go into, a store like that, and then where do I start?
You know, the key is all those pieces that you looked at, you spent so much time looking and getting inspired, you end up going in and you naturally just start to find them.
Yeah.
Throw them in the cart. Do not try them on.
That's your
Don't
first
analyze
step.
them.
Now you see why it's our favorite place.
Do you
There's
see?
everything. Can you believe that we went shopping, then we went on the news?
Yeah,
like,
that was our idea. It was like the idea was
Unbelievable.
what can we find and then what can we actually wear on the news segment, just to show that it is possible to find amazing things.
and women do live that life.
Yeah, we live that life. So
That brings us to our special guest here. You guys want to know who this guy is? It is Mike Kirk.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. He's a coach and trainer for Deseret Industries,
yes,
right?
yep. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Utah and lived here in Las Vegas for 16 years now.
Oh wow.
Had
wow,
a career
nice
in finance,
transition.
and Shane and I were actually talking. We have a mutual common
Dad.
interest.
They go way back, way back. That's so cool.
But I came to Deseret Industries. Somebody suggested that I should, I was looking for a transition, and they said you'd be really good as a job coach trainer. So I went and toured the facility and saw what they do. Because in Utah we have a different perception of what Deseret Industries is. It's kind of a place where you go to get Halloween costumes.
Oh
and,
really?
Only in
only,
Utah?
yeah, and like gag gifts.
Wait,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, can we tell you what we think of it?
Yeah.
So for me, it's the hub for the best vintage furniture in town.
Even new furniture, like
Well, for me, it was vintage at the time,
Of
but
course,
now
of
their
course.
new furniture is ridiculous.
unbelievable. I mean, you guys, you have to check it out.
And
Especially
obviously
for
the clothes, so vintage clothes also, we always find the best pieces, like pristine,
gosh.
really good condition, color-coded. So anyways, that's our perception here.
And I'm glad you have that perception, because that's the perception that we want people to have, is that, it's a new place for items that have maybe lost their use or other people don't want to use them, and it also is second life for other people.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm there, is to help the people that are there. We call them associates, and they're the people that are trying to move on with their life, and that's what Deseret Industries is for them.
That is really
That is really interesting. You guys have a great team, though. They are always there to help us.
Oh my God, so nice.
Yeah, everybody's really, really friendly, and they keep the place so well organized. I think that makes our life easier when we go, too.
If we ever get the chance to show you behind the scenes, it is so clean back
Yeah.
there. It's ridiculous. But anyway, back to business.
Yeah, so how many, you guys get donations so people can drop off
Yeah,
donations?
they can donate anytime, Monday through Saturday. During our times that we're open, we have 2 stores here in Las Vegas, and they have a little different
We need
schedules.
to go see this other store, you guys.
So is the other store the same as the location that we always go to? Are they pretty similar?
So we there's a little over 50 Deseret Industries right now throughout the Intermountain West.
Oh, wow.
So we have 2 here in Vegas. One's Craig and Allen,
That's our favorite.
That's our favorite.
and then the one I'm at is Flamingo and Mountain Vista.
Okay, that's when we have to go
Okay,
to.
that's where we have to go.
You guys been there? Let us know how you like it, because we'll be going there
Yeah.
soon.
So the North Store is a little newer. It's a little nicer.
Okay.
South Store's been there a little longer, but same great. We same principles. We want to be clean. We want to have a great experience. We want you to have a great experience, and the donations are amazing at both places.
You guys have the best knickknacks. We stayed in that section for like 3 hours. I found vintage like knitting needles, and Edwina found an old jewelry box. It was
Oh my gosh, I found something that held the 10 Commandments. It's amazing. Everything is there.
So we'll definitely have to go check out the newest one.
So you were mentioning that they said nothing goes to waste.
Yeah.
So we found that kind of interesting. What
Well-
do you do with the things that you probably deem not sellable, maybe?
So our goal is to have the things that make it to the sales floor is to be 100% recycled. And so if it doesn't sell, then we have mechanisms in place to resell it to other thrift stores, or we use it for humanitarian aid.
Oh, wow.
So we send it to a central location in Utah. We call that our humanitarian center. And if there's a humanitarian need in the world or in our country or locally, that's where those items go.
Oh, I love that.
you guys are doing big things.
See, guys,
Try
when
to,
we say
yeah.
we're big thrifters, I think people forget it is all about kind of giving back to your community and giving back to you know, if you don't feel like you can really donate, you know, sometimes just bringing donations is
Right, or
enough.
just shopping. If you shop, you're
We
you're
do that well.
contributing.
Yeah, you're
So
helping the community just by, you know, getting your fix. So
Yeah.
great.
So you mentioned the on-the-job skill training, so I
Right.
was curious about that. Do you guys set them up with positions? How does that work?
Right. So, kind of do two things while we're there. The first thing is we want them to be good workers, and many of them are coming to us from different situations. Their first job, or it's a new mom who's never worked before, has been
Oh,
a stay-at-home
wow.
mom,
Oh, wow.
or they're overcoming a big obstacle, you know, an addiction or a criminal background. So we're trying to work with them to be good workers, and we have identified about 32 good worker traits that we try to instill in them. So we focus on that first.
Really?
And then if they want to get further training like phlebotomist, or they want to get
Oh,
their
wow.
CDL, we'll use those funds from the thrift store to pay for their training.
That's
and,
awesome.
And they're making money while they're training, so they have a job while so it's on the job training that's paid, and then they can get further paid training as well.
That's awesome.
So can they find all that information on the website,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yep,
If they-
so share your
Yeah, where can we find
So-
everything about Deseret?
So they can go to deseretindustries.com or the Deseret Industries Facebook page.
awesome.
Okay, right on. No Twitter or Instagram just yet?
Not yet.
Twitter
No,
or
so it's okay.
Instagram.
We'll take care of you
Yeah.
guys.
We got it. You can just look at ours for now.
Yes. Thank you so much
No
for being
problem.
here.
Thank you for having us.
You guys have been incredible for us as a partner, and we've been on the news obviously several times, but we appreciate the relationship. So thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank
We'll
you very
definitely
much.
be back.
Sounds good. Thank
not
you,
be
ladies.
All right, so let's cut to our
Our next special
little
guest.
preview for our next special guest.
Oh yeah, we have a couple videos that will bring you
Yeah.
back, and then you'll know who's next.
Exactly.
Good morning, friends.
It's too early again, Shana.
Actually, it's not that early.
What do you mean? The sun's out. I just crawled out of bed. I just wiped the crust out of my mouth, and now I'm here.
You said them out of my mouth.
I know exactly.
Anyways, hi guys. So we're here.
This is a.
Oh, we're at Starbucks.
Oh,
in
yeah.
case you guys were wondering.
So
You
we're
guys-
gonna do a come thrifting with us video. This is a special treat,
very special.
and this is like a throwback to the remix, a bring back. But we're gonna show
That
you
we
all
never
about
actually
that.
showed you.
But anyway, this person, she helped us figure out what we were kind of going with the channel, and now she's
Inspired us, actually.
But anyway, we're gonna go into all that. But anyway, this is a bonus feature, and we'd like to introduce you to Leslie.
I was like gonna cry over here.
Oh, hi, Leslie. We didn't even introduce her really.
I know, we really didn't. Okay, wait, hold
Wait,
on.
let's
I
give
am
her
gonna put in
proper-
some clips, by the way, of
like the intro of like things she's done, like maybe like
No, I was gonna put our thrifting.
oh,
So,
the original.
We did a video a long time. This was like when we first started filming, and we had this vision of like taking someone to the thrift store, right? We were
Right.
like, oh, we're gonna do what we do, but we're gonna show you what we do.
Right.
And we did it with Leslie, and we never showed you guys the video.
Nope.
I don't even know why. There was really no reason. We just did it so long ago that we just didn't.
It was a new segment that. Oh, I'm
Hold
like,
on.
where did this music
The
come
hubby's
from?
calling. Please
Oh.
hold. All right, guys, we're back. Filming? Sorry about that. My husband called, and I had
Well,
to get
he
it.
sensed that she was having fun doing
Right.
something
He's like, what are you
else.
doing? You with Edwina?
What y'all doing?
What you doing?
I want to talk to you.
Anyways.
Come home, hug me.
Back to the
Back.
video that I don't remember why we didn't post it, but I'm gonna share clips with you guys because it'll be like a throwback. So we'll start with a woman who is stuck in the rut and needs to step outside of her box.
My body has changed, and I Nothing fits me. I don't know how to dress the body I have.
We're looking for women how we used to be. I was afraid of belts.
You were afraid of belts?
Yes.
I'm afraid of shorts.
You're afraid of shorts.
I'm afraid of shorts.
Shorts is number one on the list. And we want to change their lives because we're forever changed from this.
We'll take them to a bargain shop or a thrift shop.
I really like this.
Yeah, no, we need to not focus on.
That's not where we're going to focus.
I'm Leslie Stein, and this is a penny perspective. A lot of people ask me, what's the recipe for success? As if there's only one recipe. And while I can't tell you the recipe for success, I can share with you my recipe for success. But better yet, I can teach you how to shop for your own recipe. Success is made up of two parts. Just like cooking or any recipe, there's the pantry and there's what you buy fresh. You have to figure out what goes in your pantry. What are the things that you can't live without? I can't tell you what should be in your pantry, but I can tell you the top few items in mine. A good sense of humor, so you can laugh at things that go wrong, including yourself when you're the one that's causing the problems. Willingness to try new things, even though you know you may not look like a rock star the first time out. And attitude. You get to choose that all the time. Make sure you're picking a good one. That's what goes in my pantry. Over on the other side, I consider that sort of the farmer's market of life. What comes to you? What's fresh that day? That can show up in a lot of different ways. Opportunities, people that you're interacting with, ideas that you want to develop, inspiration that's out in the world. What are the things that are coming to you that you don't have any control over, but you sure want to play with? When you combine those things from your farmer's market experience in life and your pantry, that's when you can start creating your recipe for success.
Welcome back, everybody.
Oh my gosh, you just got to see who our next guest is. One of our favorite of all time.
Favorite people ever.
She gave us life. Oh my God, you guys know who she is. It's Leslie!
Formerly known as Leslie Stein, now known as Leslie Riley.
She got a husband.
I got myself. I think it's because you guys styled me. I don't want to say it.
I told her she had the Do Me kit.
As you can see, Leslie was one of our very first people that we ever took to the thrift store and helped style.
I felt so special.
Right. It's something we always wanted to do, but we were like, we don't really know who to do that with. It's not easy.
Before we get into this, because I know she has something like a really good thing is, what do you think there's something that maybe not everyone knows that you've done or that you...
Oh, yeah. Oh, fun facts?
Yeah, like a fun fact.
That I've done?
It's obvious because we know, but what they don't know. Like, what did you do in your past that they may not have known?
Oh, are you talking about being in the Army and flying helicopters? Yeah, that was fun.
My Army girl.
Yes! This is why we get along. I get you. I get you.
You were a pilot.
I was. I was a helicopter pilot in a airframe called the Chinook, so it was massive. Little girl, big helicopter. That's what we always used to say. And
It's always impressed me of you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Leslie, because you're not just someone who we thrift with.
They know you've been in the movie. They know you know how to dress. They know you can kill it.
What else do we need to know? So, well, just a little slight history. I know Shana because she is my sister's best friend, and so I feel like super lucky that I got to meet you in that way. And just, it's been fun to kind of watch your journey. And as I watched, like, you guys get really good at, like, thrifting and, like, just your personalities coming out and how you shifted with it and people started following you. I know, right? Shifting. At the same time, I was kind of growing my own business. So kind of started around the same time. And it's a lot about helping people overcome problems that they have, communication problems, or how to get along better with teams. And I just see so many parallels in how you guys shop and how you helped me overcome my anxiety about, like, no shorts. I don't wear shorts. I can't wear shorts. I don't have legs for shorts. The rules, right?
Right.
That you helped me see that it didn't make sense. And it was based on something, I don't even know what it was based on.
You don't know the rules you have until you put yourself in the zone of, okay, I'm uncomfortable.
Right.
I only like what I like. You think you're free, but you're not free.
Right. No.
So how did that parallel? So you said our shopping
as you were
rules
building
help
your
you.
business.
So
What do
give
you
us an
actually
example.
do?
Yeah, what do I actually do?
Oh, yeah. We know.
Right?
We're just talking to her. We know. They don't know.
But well, it's funny. I always joke. I'm like, what do I actually do? My grandfather tried to explain it once, and all he could say was, she used to fly helicopters. Like, he came up with nothing. And that's because what I do is so custom to the people that I work with. So I work with individuals when I coach. So people will come to me and say, I have X problem and I need to work through it. So the things that I really love helping people work through are transitions. So when you are ready, you know you need to move on from something, but you don't know what the next thing is.
Hire her?
Right?
I know, we need help.
Familiar, right? So I know how helpful it is because I have hired coaches when I was in my biggest transitions. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I do that with individuals, and then I also do it with teams, which is even more awesome because when you have a bunch of individuals that don't know what they're doing, it just gets really confusing and the communication breaks down, and then people get mad, and they're not even mad at each other, they're mad that they don't know where they're going.
Right. Well, you said teams, so obviously large businesses, small businesses.
Yeah, predominantly I work a lot in the corporate world, so Fortune 500 size companies and bigger, but I also really love working with nonprofits and trade associations and smaller businesses because they have the same problems just on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
So the great thing about owning my own business is I can, work with people that are on a tighter budget. So it's kind of like thrifting in that way, is that I have my corporate clients that kind of pay the bills and make sure I have food to put on the table. And then I can take on 1 or 2 clients a year at a discounted rate.
Like a personal coach? You do personal coach?
I do personal coaching.
for their business, but
yeah, so you could everything from a small business.
Do you have any more openings?
What are you doing
can I
Can I see your resume?
Because Edwina would like to make an appointment with you, and so would I.
Leslie will help you get your life in order, your business in order, your team in order.
It's inspiring because you got to travel around the world and
everywhere.
Yeah, very, very fortunate. So I've had clients in a lot of cool places. Probably one of my favorites was a client in New Zealand that I was teaching them to teach other people how to do the same kind of work. And so I've gotten to go there a couple of times and work with them.
You were telling us about that trip. That trip was amazing. So many things happened to you that trip. It was destined for you to go.
Okay, I have a question. Before or after Lead Like a Girl? Because that was exciting when you started that whole...
So Lead Like a Girl is actually it's kind of like a branded side project, I guess, and it came from my time in the Army. So
interesting.
Did you not know that? That's where it
it
started.
Came from? Okay.
Yeah, because
so leading. Okay, I got it.
Always, I was, leadership was something I've always been passionate about, and so when I was in the Army, my role models were mostly men.
Of course.
Right?
Everyone in charge is a guy.
Absolutely. So I tried to model my leadership after the people that were doing it well in front of me, and so I led like a guy. And
were you grabbing your crotch and stuff?
Yeah.
I took that off the menu. It's like, but I really was very command and control and push and action, because that's what was successful in the units that I was in. And when I finally decided I was getting out, I had about a 6-month window from the time that I dropped my paperwork and said I'm leaving until I actually left. And so I figured I have nothing to lose. I'm going to test out some other styles. And so I actually brought flowers into my office. I had a teapot. I had People magazine. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's totally off from military.
Not what you would think of as like a captain in the Army, right?
Right.
But it was amazing how many people came into my office to decompress, and they would say, here's what's going on, or this is what's driving me crazy. And I actually learned so much more about what was happening in the unit than I did when I was the hard charger.
And you built a comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I was obviously part of Lead Like a Girl on Facebook. I remember helping to follow, and you guys have a pretty big community.
It's a couple thousand people, and it kind of ebbs and flows. Like when I have something to say, I go there and we work on it.
Yeah.
And what I love is the term "like a girl" to me is empowering. A lot of people push back on it, and I, there's people that yell at me and they're like, "You shouldn't do that. That's offensive." And I'm sure
everybody's.
I think it's powerful. You should be happy that you're a woman.
I do too.
That's amazing.
And to me, what it does is it taps us back into like the fun we had when we were younger, before we worried about what everyone else thought.
Oh, those days.
It's so hard. It's so hard, especially when you're on YouTube, when you're on social media. There is a lot of mean-spirited.
Ignore it, Shana. You got to ignore it.
It's hard, but every once in a while it comes in.
It does. Every once in a while it really hits you, and so I think part of that "like a girl" phrase that I love is let yourself cry about it and be upset, and then pick yourself up and move on.
Right.
Because remember,
bounce back is the key.
Exactly. Yeah.
Quick bounce back. Don't linger on it forever, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, we are going to show a video after this, and I didn't even tell you, but I just told you right before we started. I pulled a little clip from her TED Talk.
She did a TED Talk. You guys know about TED Talks? These are huge.
So I didn't know what you were going to talk about. I didn't even know what the story was. I was just so excited that you were on it. I remember I was like, okay, let's watch this. And when I got done watching it, I was crying because I think what happens is I think we sometimes are so scared of failing
We don't do anything.
Amen to that.
that we end up wasting so much time. I mean, we talk about this all the time, and I know you've heard our story of wasting time. We've wasted time because we wouldn't allow ourselves to wear something.
We had to get ready
or do something, or we're too old to do that, or anything like that. And so I think your TED Talk speaks a lot to that, and then sharing your story. But I don't want to run out of time, so I want to make sure we show the clip from her TED Talk.
Can I just say,
Yes.
you can't fail at being you.
I know.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
You cannot fail at that.
Can't stop it. Wait, before we show the video, where can they find you?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Social media, because
Yes.
you got it going on
Social media. Leslie Riley is my personal page, and that's where I put a lot of stuff. Lead Like a Girl is I have a page there.
Instagram, right?
I'm on Instagram. My tag is Lead Like a Girl, and on Twitter, Lead Like a Girl. And then there's the website, of course, Lead Like a Girl. So that's.
Yep. And then on YouTube, you have a YouTube channel.
I do have a YouTube channel, but that one's under my maiden name, Leslie
Right.
Stein. So
She's still trying to hold on to that single life.
I know.
Oh, and by the way, a quick announcement: we are taking her to Dress the Bump. She is pregnant and due in a couple months, so
Like 6 weeks.
yeah.
And there's no excuse why you can't stay fly and stay on your fashions, okay? So we're gonna
Stay
prove,
on
we're
your
gonna
fa-
prove
That's
you
right.
wrong. Has nothing to do with nothing.
Make that belly cute.
Oh my God, there's so much I want to talk to you
I know.
about. How long is this video?
It's a couple minutes. So
Well,
yeah.
I think you guys will really enjoy it.
I think so too. It's really powerful. But thank you so much for being
Oh my gosh.
here.
Thank you guys. I always have so much fun with you.
And you guys are gonna see us on YouTube with her because we're
Yeah.
gonna take her thrifting.
And we'll continue the interview there because we have so much to
are.
catch up and talk
yeah,
about.
follow us on YouTube.
Yeah.
And thank you again to WCOBM for the opportunity to be on the network.
We appreciate
and, make sure you
it.
guys go follow them on Facebook and share and watch the live feeds and chat and we'll
Share
see
it
you
with your
next
local
time.
friends. You guys,
Yes.
this is a local live broadcasting in Vegas.
Very
so
cool.
share.
All right.
Now for
Bye.
Leslie.
I have a confession to make. I'm a little bit of an adventure junkie. There's something about looking a new challenge right in the eye and wondering, can I do it? That mix of curiosity and fear. I call that aliveness. And it was a recent adventure that I took me into some unexpected places. You see, I decided to sign up for a 200-hour yoga teacher training program. Yeah, woohoo, yay. I knew I would be challenged physically because, quite frankly, I'm not that bendy. So touching my toes is hard on some days. I wasn't quite sure how I would work in headstands and back bends, but I was willing to take the challenge. And I knew I would be challenged mentally because we had to memorize Sanskrit terms and study ancient yoga texts to understand the philosophy behind yoga. What I didn't expect was to be so challenged emotionally. There were a lot of days I ended up crying in down dog on my mat. But it wasn't an entirely unfamiliar feeling either, because it made me look back at all the little adventures I've taken and realize that I was on a journey all along to discover my inner leader. Because I believe we're all on a journey. And while the outer journeys that we take may determine what communities we become part of or what other people think of us, it's the inner journey that determines what we think of ourselves. And there's one small belief that I think if we could just flip it around, could change everything. And that's the belief that the environment has to be safe before we can be who we really are. How many people have thought that? If the environment was a little safer, I might speak up. Well, here's what I've learned on my inner journey to leadership. Speaking up makes the environment safe. The environment adapts to you. It's our job to speak up and see what happens. Now, I wasn't always willing to speak up, and I can trace that back to an incident that happened when I was in the Army. I was a brand new lieutenant, fresh out of West Point. I like two things, to look good and get it right. So when I showed up at flight school, I was ready to kick butt and take names because that's the kind of girl I was. So when I failed my first check ride, which is an assessment of how your skills and abilities are progressing in the cockpit, I was mortified. I'm not the kind of girl who fails. When I failed my second check ride, I was mortified and terrified
because I had to go stand in front of a lieutenant colonel and hear him say whether or not I got to stay in flight school. I still shake thinking about that day, standing at attention in front of his desk, because I hadn't slept very well the night before. And I could feel my stomach churning, wondering what the outcome would be. And I could feel the sweat dripping down my back, and there was no moisture in my mouth. I sure hoped he wouldn't ask me to speak, because I don't know what I would say. And seconds felt like hours as he flipped through my file looking for some indication about whether or not I was good enough. And when he finally spoke, I wasn't sure I wanted to hear what he had to say. Lieutenant Stein, I've decided to let you stay in flight school. Yes. I mean, you can imagine the relief, right? That fear that I was going to have to call everyone I knew and tell them I couldn't cut it, that I had failed out, that was gone. And a sense of peace returned, and my heart returned to a normal rate, and there was moisture in my mouth again. And I was so happy. That's probably why what he said next was such a blow to the gut. Because I didn't see it coming after he said that I could stay, when he leaned across his desk and said, I sure feel sorry for the unit that gets you, because you're a liability, not an asset. Now get out of my office. I didn't quite know what to do with that. I'm a liability, but you're going to send me back out into the Army to fly helicopters? Is that a good idea? Well, I don't know how not to be me, and he didn't say part of me was a liability, so I guess I should figure out how to be someone else. What are the assets doing? Let me look around and imitate those guys. The ones getting the good assessments, the high evaluation marks. Let me be like that. Shouldn't be too hard. We have some qualities in common, right? I'm competitive, I'm a